Hey, it's Eric. I'm making a game. What's the game called? The Godkiller. Worked on it 321 days in a row. Made progress on it that many times, consecutively, in a row. And I will keep working on it until it's done, every single day. And now I've got another number to be looking at, which is the countdown. And the countdown looks like this: 287 days until release. So yeah, it's real. It's gonna happen. There's a whole schedule to it. There's a whole planning thing. It's not an act of faith. No, it's just basic project planning. So in lieu of re-demoing something from the game, I'll go over my project plan. Because project plans are creative acts as well. You make predictions about the future and what you'll be able to do based on your knowledge of what kinds of effort have gone into similar things in the past. And I'm not bad at project planning. I've had quite a lot of experience at it. So where are we at now? I have been showing like these cute little one-page screens that show all the work that's left to do. And that's not real project planning. It's going to pop up in a second. It's got like come on. There we go. There it is. So it shows like, oh, here's all the stuff on the engine that's completed, and it's got some other stuff. Okay, that's fine. But it's not real project planning. Real project planning is you figure out different sets of tasks that are grouped together, and you figure out dependencies. Like, before we can do this thing, we have to have some other work done first. You estimate the amount of time that's going to be required for the different tasks instead of just kind of winging it, which is what I've been doing so far, just because honestly my regular day job has enough of that type of planning work that when I got off work from my day job and spent, on average another 3 to 4 hours each day working on my game, I didn't want to do exactly the same type of work that I was doing at my day job. It's not a good way to keep the engine running. Basically double shifting, doing the same thing. You're not going to get a second wind if your second shift is just the exact same type of thing as what you're doing previously. But if you switch to something else, writing code, doing art, doing sound, you get that second wind. At least I do. But now it's time to get serious because I want this thing released and I want a committed to date for it to be released. So I've got, some different high-level milestones up here. The thing that I've begun work on now is this: getting the level story complete. And that means going into the level controllers, which is code which is specific to one level, adding in the dialogue there, and making sure that the whole dialogue related to the story and all the events that need to happen inside of the levels that support it are all there. So I'm at the beginning of that, and that'll take me, end of this month, a couple more months to get all that done. There's a fair amount of work there. I'm going to do some of it today on stream. Then that will, this is what I mean by dependencies. That will give me all the dialogue that I need to record with actors voicing all the lines. That'll happen in June. So we'll have a series of recording sessions, and I think most of them are going to be distributed, meaning whoever the VO artist is, they'll just record from their home. And I've already cast a couple of people for the two main parts. So there's Chelsea Blackwell, who will be the voice of M, and Kyle Kreis, who will be the voice of Billy. And I've done a lot of work with them in the past. They're both very funny and talented people. And then there's some other characters to cast, but those are the main two. I'll do the voice of God unless I change my mind. So I guess the main three characters are cast. Then we've got some supporting roles and some kind of extra characters that will get cast too. And then we'll record everything together. There'll be retakes to get the performances right, not just the quality of individual recordings, but having the performances sync well with each other. It's very important to me that the dialogue sounds better than your average video game. Now here's what we usually get with recorded dialogue with voiceover inside of games. High quality acting ability, high quality voice, poor quality integration of all those performances into something that sounds like people actually talking to each other. Poor quality looking after the effect of the dialogue. So you get like a lot of voices that they sound impressive, like you can't fault them for being low quality or cheap or anything like that, but the end effect of it all is it's just not that fun to listen to. And I know a little bit about that. I know a little bit about making things that are fun to listen to. And I spent a year or so working on this comedy audio drama thing called Machine Court. Did lots of recording with lots of people, edited everything together to make some comedy out of it and make some dramatic moments in it. I had a voiceover studio for a while. We did some different projects and worked on some different games, supplying audio to them for those. So I know the mistakes that the AAA studios make, and I know what's possible if you just focus on actually getting the end result being something that's fun to listen to. So we're going to do well with that. We're going to do way better than average on this. Okay. So then I'll have all of the audio from the actors, all the voiceover audio. I have it edited. Okay. There's another bar here I should put, which is not me doing the work. It is an artist, Bettina Throckmorton, making the face art. Okay. So this will be happening between now and June. We'll want to finish up the face art in June, or at least have early versions of it. And then we will put all the face art into the game. We'll put all of the dialogue into the game. If I got a little bit, if I feel like the project's on track, I may commission some extra scenery, 3D art to kind of punch up the look of the game a little bit. But if it feels like, whoa, it's just going to be all I can do to get all of this stuff coming in, integrated into the game, or for running past the schedule a little bit, like June comes out to July with this recording stuff or the face art, then maybe I'll be less ambitious. This is how I can commit to a release date. There's things that if I'm on schedule or ahead of schedule, I get more ambitious, kind of like stretch goals. But if not, then I just kind of stick to the plan to release something good by the release date that I've got planned. Okay. So the level's a couple of months to get all that new media into the game. There'll be some bug fixing that's happening. Throughout this whole period, I think there's going to be some bug fixing. I got to get around to fixing out all the little things that are remaining. They're just simple bugs. I don't have a lot. But people are going to be testing this whole time as well. We'll go into what I call the light alpha, where we bring in some people that they're not as hardcore puzzle players, but they do like that genre. And we'll see what their impressions are of the game. We might tune the gameplay difficulty a little bit based on that. We might find something that's very obvious to the hardcore puzzle players is not obvious to some of the people that are less familiar with the genre. And then we tweak the game so that it's more accessible to them. Okay. During this whole time, we've got pre-release marketing going on. Alex Harvey is helping me with that. This is just posting little screenshots and messages about the game, and animated GIFs are a big thing in different locations. So we'll try to drum up a little bit of early support for the game. It's very important, actually. It's very important because as we go through the beta period, we get closer to this date. What happens is we start on January 1st with the game release then, and it's going to make me sound greedy, but understand my intent for this is to make something that could support me creating these games for years. Like, I would like to start out the next year just with plans to make chapter 2. So the greedy part is I do want a lot of sales in this first week. Now there's a strategic part to it too. So the game will be released on Steam, okay? Steam will bury your game in obscurity if it doesn't get good sales in the first week, or even some people say the first 3 days that it comes up. And you get a little shot, a little window right after your release to be one of the games that pops up on the front page on the regular. And then if you get up there on that pretty high shelf, there's a nice continuing cycle of reinforcement. So more people see the game because it's on that front page, or near the front. Comes up in search results more, so therefore more sales, and then it just stays up there. Okay. I said Steam buries, but it's really it's not like they're doing anything bad about a title if they choose not to promote it on their front page. So it's just more like you could flip it around. You could say you'll get nice attention from Steam. They'll become your partner in promoting the game if you have good sales during the first week. So that's my hope, that we'll do everything right. We'll do our pre-release marketing in some reasonable way. The game will be something that's a lot of people enjoy, and when they see the content we've got around it, they'll be excited about it. So all this is leading up to that January 1st date. And if I kind of bomb on the Steam store, that's not the end of it. That's not the end of the whole thing at all. But it is a major point where it could decide a lot of the game's future, and how much work goes into it, and if during next year if I'm going to be using the game as something to pay bills with, or if it's more of a when I got time for it, I will work on it sort of thing. So that's my big plan. I didn't do a demo on this stream. The reason I didn't do a demo, you could say I did do a demo. I did a demo of my project plan. But I didn't do a demo because yesterday I worked on the game and then I demoed the thing that I completed. I didn't do any work after that, so I don't have anything new to demo. But what I will do is continue working on this level, which is part of making the level story complete. And there are a few little glitches and things here I want to fix. So I may focus on fixing the bugs that I know about. Then I'll move on to making everything story complete. So here's an example of a bug. Okay, so we've got some issue there with the LOD. So I can pull out the rails of this and swap them out. Okay, other things in the death box. There's maybe some lighting issues. They will probably go away or be changed to different lighting issues with the other change I want to make, which is to move the death box below everything, because there is a little moment of camera movement after you die and it goes up. And it feels a little bit more in line with the content of what happens in the death box. For you go down, you died, you go down. That feels better to me. So I'm going to move the death box below. And there is some bug in the transition when after you arrive here, it's like some assertion, like something's not updated right, so I'll fix that. And then there's some story stuff to add to the level, but I will do that off stream because I'm trying not to spoil the story. There is some story you'll see as I test on this, but it's stuff that I've already talked about at length. So it's kind of already out there on the streams, on several streams. Okay, so let's start by moving the death box down below. And it's kind of a nice thing that I got it all inside of one game object, so I can just go. Oh, except for this other part. Oh, but I won't need that part anymore. Hold on. Oh, I got the long undo with Pro Builder. I gotta remember not to undo, and there's a whole ton of Pro Builder objects that are gonna be updated. Okay, so let's just go ahead and move this down. Yeah, make sure. I think that it's the best thing would be if it's lined up pretty close with where you're actually going to die at. So you will die over there. Okay, so then go underneath. You see this weird little thing here? Feels like it could just go in. And then I guess I'll take this and I'll move it. Yikes, not that one. Yeah. There's two other things I know that need to come down here. Okay. There's a light up here. Light. Death box light, that's the one. Okay, so getting the lighting right in here is pretty important. Whew, boy, that makes it quite a bit different place. So the thing that really matters is the glint off the blades. There's a number of things that matter, actually. So, glint off the blades, the intensity being enough that it gives some bloom off of the maw, which is a face that appears in the middle. And then there's like the walls I want to be visible. They don't need to be that visible though. Let me try just bringing the range down. That's a little bit better. Okay. I won't really be able to know how well this works until I just play it. Okay, so the other thing is to bring the waypoint down here. It's called Death Box Entry. This is a game object that marks the location that the script will use to teleport M into the death box when she dies. So I used to use coordinates and enter them as numbers into the level controller code, but this is better because it's just a visual way of seeing where things are. If you have to move it around, it's less error prone. Okay, that seems right. At least for the height. Let's see, is it centered? Like that. Okay. Okay, so now it's like not much light beyond what's provided by this light in here. So the directional light is lost. Probably have a tiny bit of ambient light in this level. This seems about right. I won't really know, like I said, until I play it. But that's probably a good location for it. The lighting's probably close. We'll see pretty soon. I'm also thinking that after M comes back from the death box, I don't really want Billy hanging around because it's easier to explain this by just playing, and I'll play test the death box and then I won't have to explain as much of what's going on. Waiting for the... It's a big level. It takes a little while to load. And Billy runs off over there. He stops talking to him. M goes across the bridge. Dies. Now she's been teleported to the death box. That looks pretty right. Oh, I got her up one square too high.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed. Oh, little nothing, you are afraid that all your pieces fell apart. They fell below. Oh, little nothing, where did they go? We see you here, your sad little face. Come to cry, come to beg for our grace. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Will we put put you back together. That's the plan. Because we got the knives. Fix you, slice you, bite you, grind you, unwind you. Because we got the knives. To find you.
Okay, I heard the song way too many times. I have to turn it off. Okay, so I'm just looking at lighting. It feels like I lost just by a little bit the amount of bloom that I want on the maw, that face in the middle. But everything else looks pretty good. Okay. Pretty good set of changes. All right. So Billy's off over here. I don't really want him there. Okay. So the problem with having Billy there after the death box is that I've just taken control of what the player can do for a little amount of time. And while it was a pretty good little show that I gave, to come back and to feel like you got to do some other story stuff at this moment, it's not the right moment for that. You want Billy to disappear so you don't feel obliged to hover around him and see what he has to say or anything like that. In general, I try to set this up so there's no walk up to character, what do they say, kind of, I hate that. I hate it. So I want to be gone. Then the player just goes about their business, exploring the level. M can have a few follow-up thoughts. In fact, she needs to. I won't say what they are, but just giving the player the piece to just go do your thing after I've limited what they can do for 2 minutes, I think is the right move. So M can have more conversations with Billy later on different levels. They can follow up to this experience on different levels. Yeah, there's another piece of business too that's more easily handled with Billy not on the level after M comes back, which is M will become a pacifist, but I need to be able to explain that in M's own words, why she becomes a pacifist. And until it's declared that she will become a pacifist, there won't be any explanation of why she can't go up to Billy and push him. I could just prevent the pushing from happening. Okay, let's start fixing our things. I'm gonna see if I can up that lighting just a little bit without messing up something else. But because there's like a bunch of other stuff I need to do too, let me not make that the only change before I play test. So we'll say where is the waypoint? This guy needs to go down one, and the light, death box light. I think if I go up to 15, that'll probably make it brighter. The other way I could do is say 13 and then go up a little bit on the intensity. That's probably the way to do it. Because I want the maw to bloom a little bit more than he is. But I don't want to lose like the mystery of the edges of this box. There's not much for the player to do while they're here. And that's probably a good thing, but just having the one little task that might be interesting to them for the 2 minutes the thing's going on is to figure out what is this room. It works better if there's no lighting that just lights it up and shows here's what the corner is. So the player can mess around, go to a corner and say, okay, that's definitely an obstacle. I can't get out there. I expect them to kind of walk around and try to figure out the room while everything's going on. Some people will be like, oh, media's playing. I'm just going to stop and listen to it. That's fine. Those people, they can have that experience. Either way, it won't matter too much. But the worst thing is somebody's kind of antsy. They don't see anything to do in the room. And clearly they're stuck there. I don't want to be so clear that you're just stuck there for the performance. I want the person who's a little bit antsy, who needs something to do, to kind of walk around and explore the room. That's all. So yeah, that'll be one change there. And there's this bug here that I'll need to fix at some point, which I still don't get. Okay, so let's do the rails next. Let's fix the rails. I'm happy that there's not too many of them. Okay, what did I do? Was it Shift R? Yeah, Shift R, okay. Got this little code snippet I took offline that lets me replace objects. And you'd say, well, the thing you're replacing is a prefab. Wouldn't it just update on its own if you make a change to the prefab? You would think it worked that way. But somehow it doesn't. What can I say? Unity has some bugs, or I don't understand Unity sufficiently to know how to avoid them. I always have to allow for that possibility. I think something weird's going on here. Maybe I misjudged the number of things there are. What am I looking at? Well, I'll go through this exercise. If it looks fucked up, I can just revert or something. Yeah, it feels like it's growing down here. Like it's... How many more things are there? There's northwest, south. Okay, so let's see. There's about one page left. So let's see. Is it really growing on me? No, it's not growing. It's some kind of update to the list that's... I'll know after I do rail S. Okay, so right now it all fits on one listing. Yeah, I don't know. It looks fine. I think there's just some kind of difference in the proportional font or something like that. It's weird. Okay, I got them all. Let's go take a look, see if I fucked anything up. That looks fine. I need to add some R corners here. I need to add rail ends here. It's a little confusing that this is still looking correct. It's okay though. Got some down here. And then there's the tricky stuff all up here. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it's got a few rail ends and R corners to do. Alright, cool. Okay, one there. One down here. No rail ends on that one. And then I had an R corner, a rail corner, I guess. Let's see, R corner northwest. Okay, that works. And then that's fine. I do suspect, because I saw so many cylinders that didn't have a parent game object, there's going to be a bunch of these that are duplicated. Yeah, so if I hide all these, yeah, there's already stuff there. Let's see what else. Okay, I want to delete any cylinder that does not have a game object parent get rid of those. Look for these orphan cylinders. It's going to be tough because as soon as I remove that, I'll find that some of them are part of a game object. So I need to look through without doing a search. So I'll just look through for any cylinders that, here we go, here's some that aren't parented to a rail. So those are like detritus to clear out. Million spikes. Yeah, if I don't get rid of these orphaned cylinders, what will happen is I'll get Z fighting for two bits of geometry in the same area overlapping. It'll look like a shimmering surface. Also, it's bad for performance to have extra polygons, extra triangles in there that you're not actually using. Looking through it all with some care because sometimes it's hard to spot Z fighting reliably with play testing. So it's one of those things where you think you're done, and then on one play testing session somebody complains that they saw it, and it can be hard to track it down. Maybe nobody complains they saw it and it just gets in the release game and that looks like garbage. So gotta take a little care with that. Okay, so then let's take all the rail ends and unpack them. And this is just a cosmetic thing to make the rails look closed off and like real rails in the world. Okay, so then let's delete the extra cylinders here. All that is fine. Okay, then let's take this guy, fix that. I feel like I missed one of these. Yeah, there must be one more. Oh, there it is. It's hiding on me. Okay, delete that one. Cool. I think that's it for the rails. Let me see if I can write the code that hides Billy. That shows Billy behind objects. Hey, Cicada. Happy Saturday. I don't know what you mean by shows Billy behind. The protagonist is M. But I don't know what you mean by showing them behind objects. Don't need it. Camera ducks under. Camera always ducks under. But I do know how I would write that code based on other stuff you've taught me. Camera stacking. Camera stacking and a shader. No? No? Because you could use the camera stacking to put it on top of everything else. But I've tried to make it so I don't need that effect. I think I've been successful. There is one place where on purpose M is hidden. Let me see. Their symmetrical fighting is very silly. Pretty cool dance. That outline glow might be good for something else. I was interested in showing whether or not a formation of blocks was contributing to a gate being closed. And just throwing an outline glow around the blocks would do it pretty quick and simple. Alright. Seems like a decent tip. I'm going to add that to my little tip list. It's possible I want to use that, but I don't have any case for that right now. But the outline effect, I might use that for the blocks, showing that they're contributing to a gate being closed. Let's see. You had a section down here before, but I already used your tips out of it, so I deleted it. Okay. Alright, so then back to the task at hand. Treachery Bridge. I want to move Billy underneath. I might as well stick him in the death box. What? What? You're not doing anything. You've got nothing to do. I gave you nothing to do. Just stop with the spinny. Okay, let's turn off the debugger. I just don't trust you right now. Okay. All right, let's do. Boy, the IDE is really being weird right now. It is time for me to save this, shut it down, reopen it, because it is just being crazy. Alright, we'll save. It's already saved. Okay, quit. Whatever you think you're trying to do, just stop doing it. Yeah, get birth egg. So creatures have an assigned egg, which is where they will be born. Yeah, let's try Rider again. Let's see if it acts a little bit better now. Okay. This one should be much easier to do. Billy piece. Let's see. I've got, what is it? Piece util. Teleport to. That's going to be Billy. We're going to move him to. Deathbox CRH board. Oh, we gotta do like see. Well, in this game, when things die, birth happens immediately afterwards. And this is one of the rare cases where I had to subvert it. Stupid knobs. Let's see. Unused. This isn't my favorite code right here. This is some of the hackiest code I've written. It's kind of in the category of I only have to do it one time. Oh, okay. Death box, birth egg. Yeah. I guess I see what you're saying. Okay, so then after Billy is there, we'll set his aliveness to false. Okay. when M is reborn, I'm currently having him move off of the thing which causes the bridge to be open. But I could instead just teleport him here, and that would probably be better. I don't need to set him alive again. I can leave him. Okay. Fair chance this does not work. Let me take a look at this teleport to code. Okay, it doesn't care if you're alive or dead. It's gonna just move you. Okay, that's all fine. Okay, I think I do want him to be alive when he teleports, so let's fix that. Okay, we'll see if all that stuff works, and we'll check the lighting. Oh, thanks, man. Our brains are a little bit similar. A little bit. Like the stuff about this bothering me scratch file. That's interesting similarity, so it's probably... There's probably other things about our style that are overlapping, I would think. The more recent, maybe, evolution of the style is I've started having less comments and using like names of functions to self-document a little bit more. But the thing that I can't stand, and it kind of goes against a lot of commonly advised practices for coding, is when you've got a long function and there isn't anything reusable inside of it, and conceptually it all belongs together, I just keep it long until there's really some benefit in breaking it up. So like I'll do this, and then somebody else would say, oh, all those lines of code, you should be refactoring this out to different functions. And I'm like, tell me the benefit. It's a little bit like cargo cult science to say that every function has to be short. Yeah. Okay, let's test this out. Let's see how it does. Whenever there's like a neat little concept that's really clearly expressed in the function name, I'm inclined to refactor it into a new function. But if it's just like step one of a whole bunch of stuff inside of a longer function, you might as well keep it in line. Or if it's reusable, then yeah, refactor out. Oh, I need to cancel their speech if the player beelines. Okay, lighting. I got the bloom I want in the mouth now. That part seems fine. I do want to keep a little mystery in the corners just to entice the player to go over and look at it. So I don't feel like I really need to light up these corners. It's not a boss fight at all. Like, there's nothing you can do to prevail in this. It's really just got story weight. Well, you could say it's a boss fight, but you're gonna lose. Okay, I think I'm good with the lighting. This corner's maybe the worst over here, but I don't mind the mystery. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so Billy teleported and the bridge went back to where it needs to go. Let's make sure there's no extra geometry around here. Nope. Cool. This is all back to normal. Okay. You know what? It's okay. I'm okay with it. It's not how if I was gonna spend some more time beyond what I already have on it, I would do a higher res version, but that would be like a whole day to up-res it, and also to write different code to grab from different parts of the face sheet. So the code I have, which goes in there might be something to that, like we could, yeah, but the problem is that I've got like code that looks at certain parts of the face sheet and pulls it out, and I just don't want to redo that code. A lot of stuff to get done, you know. So I'm going to let that one be. Well, if it's just a shader thing, okay, I'd be interested in that. If it was something that changed, like it generated a new texture that was higher resolution, then I wouldn't be interested in that, because I'd have to recode around the stuff that blits. Okay, so that worked pretty well. Although I'm going to try going up just one more step on the light intensity. And I'll test it a little bit later. Okay. Let's see. So there it is. The death box light. Let's just go up to 7. Because I kind of want to see 1 too far. So let's go back to bothering me, and I'll say with my notes. Okay, this is done. 6.5 looks good. Though maybe bloom could be more intense. Okay. So let's see if I can figure out these stupid assertions and this wrong animation stuff. assertion that I get. It's always this one. So it's saying that you tried to move a piece, but the piece wasn't in the place you expected it to be. The code still works, but it's a strong code smell. If I'm ever calling this function and it says, no, the thing you're trying to move is not actually there. Which means that it's someplace else. And I should learn where it actually is. And what got it out of sync. Let's check this thing out. Cool. That's okay. It's not a mobile game. Made my life a lot simpler by deciding that. Do you ever feel resentful for, it's kind of a bad spirit, but do you ever feel resentful for every player that has like, when's it coming out on my little device? You know, it's kind of like, jealous work to get here and here and here, and then like repeat the same thing for portals, like distribution. Well, when's it coming out on Apple Store? I mean, wait, it's on Steam. Get it on Steam. And some of the complaints are kind of like, you mean you have to walk across the street to get your game? You mean I have to go to a website that isn't the one that I normally go to get your game? I'm outraged. But like the mobile people, it's like so you make a game that is really designed for desktop form factor, and somebody's like, but I can't play it on my little screen when I'm half paying attention to it when I'm on the bus. Why not? Like, some games can be mobile games and some games can be desktop games. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't be an emotional decision at all. It should just be a economic decision. It's like you're not, I mean, I'm not worried about anybody on one device or platform being left out for their own sake, you know. That's life. But if the money's there to get something off onto a certain platform or device, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's so stupid. Like, if somebody designs something from the very beginning to be a VR game, and they've done all that design work, it's not a small thing to make a VR game. It's not just like make a 3D game and put it on VR equipment. And then you say like, well, why can't I play it in not VR? Well, because it would be a different game. And like maybe it compromises what's good about that game. And it just becomes like kind of like an okay game, whereas like the original might have been great. So a lot of crybabies out there. Why can't I have everything in the exact way I'm accustomed to it? yeah. Probably there's some good games that were both VR and non-VR releases, like Abduction. I thought it was really great, Myst style game. I didn't play it in VR. I'd like to play it in VR sometime, but it stands alone without VR. All right, 2-minute break. If it's got music, I gotta shut it off. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't, man. For later. I'll get like when I export the Twitch to YouTube, they'll do like rights strikes and stuff and bullshit like that. Yeah. There was one Twitch video where you've probably seen my level selector, and when you select a level, it kind of goes in. So the inspiration for that effect came from a movie called Time Raiders, Terry Gilliam movie, with like some kid that goes off through time with a bunch of little people. And yeah, all I did is I showed one scene in the movie in like a real fair use friendly way, where I said, this is a great movie, and I'm going to show you one scene out of the movie that is inspiration for it. Well, they probably would flag my menu or something, like I couldn't release it if they were able to. But they just flagged the video because there's a scene where they're trying to escape God, basically, and God is mad at them because they all stole this map that was important to him. And so they start pushing on one wall of the bedroom of this little boy's room, and it just keeps going in, and it makes a tunnel. And I just always love that scene. No. I will not play the video, but let's see. Time Raiders. No, Bandits. Time Bandits. Sorry, I gave you the wrong name. Time Bandits. This really is a classic movie. It's like kind of got problems with it as far as like sometimes like the actors talk over each other, but anyways, so let's see. Bedroom escape. Will this show it? This is it. So they just like push the wall on one side of the bedroom, this little boy's bedroom, and then it just like goes in, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. I still kind of do. It's just a really great movie. All right, let's get to debugging. Let's debug this shit. But just that one little, I showed maybe 5 seconds of it, and then I got like some kind of copyright claim thing. All right, so what are the things that I'm doing? Yeah, it's really it's not intelligent either. Like you can be doing something that's entirely within the bounds of copyright law in the U.S. and doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, so then there's on Treachery Bridge. I do the teleport. It's gonna come through here. Oh, I move this. I move this to here because it fixed a camera thing. You know, this assertion comes up enough times. I think I might write a little bit of extra special debugging code for it. We'll see. Okay, so we'll say board int from C, int from R, int from H, int to C, int to R, int to H. Alright. And we can do stack too. Then we say if I just got these data structures, and sometimes it seems like they get out of sync, so I want a little more information about it. Let's see, we'll say if this is a piece that is attached to transform, we'll get the name from the game object. Otherwise, I'll just get the tag, return piece. I don't know if I can though. Let's just say, oh yeah, I can get the type. Yeah, that's probably a good way to do it. Normally wouldn't hassle this much with it, but the assertions come up in multiple cases. I just need to get more efficient about debugging this and just kill it wherever it comes up. So but instead found, and we'll say okay. This method. Okay, I got something like that. So we'll say that's not going to tell me where it's at though. Layers, layer set. Yeah, so this does the slow check through all the cells for a piece, but it's not going to return back the location it found something. So let's just do this. Let's just add a method here following the same pattern. That probably works for that. So I have to expose this to the board. to piece util. Don't need this. Alright, the next one, a lot simpler. Go through here. We say if our from location is not the piece we wanted to move, expected to find that piece there at the from location, but instead we found something else. Could be null, that's the most likely one. A really bad one is if it's not null, it's something else. Because the movement will actually put a null there and overwrite it. Okay, and piece is actually, okay, then the piece is actually found at, let's just do but then like this might have some effect on performance inside of my debugging. Nah, computers are fast. It's just debug code anyways. It compiles out. Okay, so say piece name. Be consistent with my quotes. Okay. All right, let's see what regressed with that. Let's go check out this new assertion. Oh, the player piece isn't found anywhere. I'm kind of glad about that. This is an invalid thing. Okay. Expected to find the player piece here, but instead found null. Player piece is not any place on the board. I'm glad that it's not someplace else. Okay, so something is removing the player piece from the board, then I call the thing to move the player piece, but the player piece is already removed. This is a hack. I could just fix it by explicitly copying the player there. I'm pretty sure there's not a real error here to solve because this is just a hack by its nature. I'm subverting the normal operations for death and rebirth in this one special case. So if I come it was in walk. Okay. But I've already got the code here that is doing the thing where it that we was just hoping to do that would fix it. So M dies. We set her M location, her piece location. Okay, let me think about this. 51, 47, 28. Where is that? I think it's up top. I think this is up top. Let me drop an object there that lets me tell what the coordinates are. Prefabs, meta, editor only, diagnostic queue. Yeah, that's 38. Okay, and then the message it gave was 28. Okay. So let's take this down. See if it's weird. This doesn't quite seem right. Huh. No, okay, so down below is at 5. Up here? Is that where it is? That's 38. 28 would be the spikes, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's where it was. Okay. 51, 47, 28. So it's going to be like bam, bam, bam. Yeah. All right. So when we walked, something still had the player back up at the spikes. I don't know. I gotta take a little break. I gotta go do a quick thing. I'll be back probably 5-10 minutes, something like that. Alright, back to it. Okay, so it's okay. What is the deal? It is finding the player piece at the death location instead of the teleport location. So let me think about this. It's going to be like some different events happen and something is setting it to an unexpected state. So first thing that happens is level controller on update. Dice. Okay. Let me see what happened before that though. What put it to this state? Oh, right up above. Okay, so she walked onto the bridge. State got changed to M dies. Wait for it to fade to black. That's the weird part, because it sets the column row height to the right location. It fills in the square contents with the player piece, which is like an index. Let's see. M walks onto bridge. Remains at death square. Also, is that assertion coming from the predictive boards? It is. Okay. That kind of makes sense, because the predictive boards have got no way to reproduce this hackery. The predictive boards just do not have level controller updates on them. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Oh, I could do something real simple. Just disable the player guide and the predictive boards while she's in this transition. Yeah. Okay, player. How do I get the player guide? inside Treachery Bridge, I want to just locate at the beginning the player guide object, and then I can set it as I like later on. Okay, let's go to reset. And hopefully I've got a find self on there already. If not, I can add one. Don't have one yet. Okay, that's fine. Oh, it's not a mono behavior. Okay, let's see. How am I finding it inside of main object? I'm creating it right there. What else do I do with it? I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let's go back to here. Let's take a look. There's some other object. Player piece. Or the player. Then inside the player there's the guide. I can just do a search for predictive boards. Which is a mono behavior, and I can turn that off. Okay, cool. So then back to Treachery Bridge, and let's make this predictive boards instead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like that. Okay, cool. So teleport. Risophone. Hey, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. Let's do... a note to myself so that a year from now I won't continue with this hack. If you have more cases like this, Don't reuse the hack. Probably generalize. Okay, so then we turn this off. When M is reborn, okay. Oh yeah. So it's going quite well. I have a trailer, kind of first draft, that's waiting for some media to be generated by a couple of different people I'm working with. And then I'll be able to post that. Steam page is up, but it's kind of like not really announced. But it's here. I'm waiting until I get the trailer up before I market around it. Once I have the trailer up, I will have a kind of a recurring task of posting animated GIFs and other things on different forums and outlets. There's a guy that's going to help me do that. His name's Alex. So right now we're preparing for the trailer release, and then we'll start trying to build the wish list count around the Steam page after that. But yeah, page looks not bad. Takes forever to fill out all that Steam information, I'll tell you that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, hey, can you remind me again, what stuff are you working on these days? I know you have like a job with a game company making like a Unity game, I think, if I remember right. It's been a little while. I forget the details of the project. Okay, so got the predictions turned back on. Let's give this a shot, see how it looks. But I know one thing though, I know that there's still some kind of problem. Even if I turn off the predictive boards, the assertion will go away. But there's still some kind of weird thing going on. Maybe I'll just look at it very carefully this time, assuming I get the assertion to go away. Okay, that predictive fix didn't work. Okay, so this is the part I wanted to look at closer. First off, I want to see if the positioning is right. Oh, okay. So you've got okay, weird. Okay, she's up one square too high. I can see that at least. Also, this just should not be present at all. I thought I'd turn these off. I think I was unsuccessful in turning them off. Okay, so she's up. Is that right? One square too high? Or is it two? No, she's way up there. Yeah. So this guy is not God. He's a creature called the Maw. And this scene explains how death works in this world to her for the first time. So she dies for the first time, and she lands in this place called the Death Box. This guy is here. He sings a song, and he says, you know, we can resurrect you, but it's going to hurt. And they cut her up with knives, and she then returns to the game, restarting from the egg, being reborn from the egg. And it explains that whenever you die in this world, you'll just be reborn, but it's a very unpleasant process. And gives her some empathy for not wanting to kill other things, because then they have to go through this thing that she went through. Okay, so let me keep track of all the things that are not as they should be, because a bunch of them popped up there. So let's see. Death Box. I'll say 7 looks good. I might just stay on 7. Y placement seems off. Predictive was still on for teleport to Death Box. And then the last one was silence dialogue when M dies. It is bloom. It's just the post-processing bloom. The custom part is my outline shader. Okay. So what else here? I want to figure out her Y position. So while it's still oh, thanks. Well, So there was some other games I made called Drawed, which are also puzzle-solving games with very grid-based stuff in them, and this is maybe a continuation of some of the ideas that were there. Let's see. So if I click here, the story stuff is not a continuation. The story stuff is just, I think part of it is my own background. I grew up in a religious family, and I don't know, there's certain ideas I wanted to express creatively in story form around religion, but I didn't want to upset my family through most of my life, and then now I'm like, I'm middle-aged now. If I can't make something that kind of gets these things across, then I suck. So, all right, why did I just lose the inspector? Okay, Windows. Okay, put that there. And just so I don't lose it again, I'll move it off to the side so it's easy for me to find it. Okay, so then the player is here. And maybe it would be better if she was lower. Oh, that seemed to do nothing at all. Oh, I'm doing rotation. Why am I doing rotation? Okay. Okay, so 1-7. Yeah, she's at least 2 squares too high. So let's try 1-6. She's supposed to be like 1 square above the maw. That looks closer to right. Let's see if, let's take her too far. Okay, so that one. Thanks for phone. I do appreciate it. Let's see. So she's supposed to be 1 above. It's kind of like she's on a glass floor. Okay, that's too far. This is too far because it puts her right on the surface. So it should be 15, which was, I think, down 2 or 3. I can't remember. All right, anyways. Got that. Close this scene window. And bam. Okay, so I can get rid of this guy. Don't need it anymore. Let's go down here and check out this waypoint thing, which I'm using, and maybe it's in the wrong spot. Death box entry. Okay. Wow, it is way the fuck up there. Oh, well, that's my problem with that, at least. So let's move this. Oh, it's got a weird offset. Oh, at some point I just messed up and moved the offset instead of the containing object. Okay, that would probably be the root of the problem. Okay, that'll help. let's silence the dialogue. So we say if M dies, if she dies, all talking would stop. M dies. Speech, yes. Silence all. And we'll give it a half second to find an interruption point. Okay, so what else? The predictive thing. Why did the predictives not disable? Yeah, this code could be a lot simpler, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. It might be on board change. I don't know about this. Pretty sure I disabled it. So that'll be set to true. But it won't update anything in the predictive boards until here. Let's do this a little bit better. Okay, so we'll say no, that won't work. Never mind. Okay, is it that there has to be a call to onboard change? So we teleport M to the death box. We're not actually teleporting her right away though. Or at least her coordinates aren't updated right away. Let's rename this a little bit. Start teleport him to death box, and let's do another one. Finish teleport M to death box. Okay. I might be able to fix this problem. She hasn't actually moved there yet. I can encapsulate some of this other stuff better. Start. Yeah. Say. And finish teleport him to death box. Okay. Move all this stuff here. So maybe yeah. I mean, it's similar. The naming's a little bit different because it is the actual event that's being done by this. Like this code is doing like a preparation for him to be teleported and does some of the stuff that needs to start, and then once it fades. So this state logic is fine. There's just a few glitches left to sort out. Let me see if I fixed some of the things and I didn't break anything new. Now I'm testing the case where I rush to the bridge before the dialogue's complete. Okay, good. It canceled out there. Predictions are still there. The animation did not go to the intended stand animation. It will once I move, but I think something else is going on there. Okay, so her Y value is correct now. The dialogue silencing is fixed. The predictions are disabled. But there was a little bit of code that ran before the predictions were disabled. And that's why I still have the assertion. So the predictions are like 4 separate copies of the game that run to figure out what will happen when you step on the squares from one spot to another. But because the handling of the death override is such a hack, those 4 copies of the game that run for the predictions, they have no way of running that hack, and I don't want them to. So I just want to disable the predictions while I do the hack. Okay, so I've got 2 bugs left to fix with that. Just double checking Billy is not hiding around up here someplace. That should still be fine. No regressions there. Cool. Okay. And the predictions did get turned back on. So that works. It's just a timing thing on the predictions. one thing I could do is I could just turn this off one turn earlier. I'll just say, we change state to enter bridge. Glad I don't have to do this more than once. Okay, so it's that. The animation, I still don't know why that's not working. I do know it's easy for me to You mean the bumping motion? Like you're saying, like reduce the amount of bump? Maybe. The thing is though, like, here, I'll play the scene with the audio, and you'll get a sense of it, I think. It's not supposed to be like a... Oh, I see. It's not supposed to be a real gameplay place. It's supposed to be kind of disorienting and harsh for the drama of the scene. So I wanted the knives, when it hit you, to be kind of like, you know? Even if it makes it hard to play, but like this section of the game, you don't really have to do anything. There's nothing for you to handle. But I'm not sure, I mean, you'd like to see the knife itself. I'm not sure about what that means. Like, compared to what it is now, maybe you're saying like, it's hard to see the knife slash as a knife slash with the current animation. Alright, I'll turn the volume on. Okay, let's see. Okay.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed. Oh, little nothing, you are afraid that all your pieces fell apart, they fell below. A little nothing, where did they go? We see you here, your sad little face. Come to cry, come to beg for our grace. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Will we put you back together? That's the plan. Because we got the knife. We'll fix you, we'll slice you, we'll bite you, grind you, unwind you. Because we got the knife. We'll find you, we'll hurt you, we'll hurt you, we'll advise you, comprise you. You know we got the knife. We feel you, defeat you, complete you, devour you, empower you. Because we got the knife. One way back to life, just one way back to life. It's gonna be the knife. We got the knives. Make harder try. Someplace wild.
Okay. Let me make a few notes before I think about what you said. Okay. So let's see. Eyes still shut. One coming back. Stop it. Seeing old predictive guide above. Yeah. So I fixed this. I fixed this. I'm happy with that. Fix that. Okay. Let's fix this first one. Easy. Okay. I think you might be right, Razaphone. I just don't know if I'm getting to a point of diminishing returns, meaning the amount of effort I might continue putting in for the value I get back from it might be starting to be a bad ratio. I have to, finish this and move on to all the other stuff. That's the only thing. So it's really my goal to be done with this particular death box thing today. I even think there's validity to your opinion. Like I think it would probably be better to do something like you said. I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep going. Gotta go. Gotta move. Gotta do all this shit, man. That's how I get it released. Released. Right here. Right here. And not a day after. So I will finish this thing today. I may make some tweaks later, but it's going to be done today. And then, yeah. And there might be like, okay, so we get to September, which is when I should be in beta and should have a game that has nothing that I know needs to be completed. Like, I've got 4 months to fix bugs and make minor refinements. If I'm on schedule in September, then maybe I swing back and I do some of those refinements. So I'll feel a lot more comfortable though if I'm like hitting all these other dates, getting all the story stuff in over the next couple months, and then I've got my recording month in June with all the actors, and I've got like face art coming in from a 2D artist, Bettina Throckmorton, coming in. So if in July, if I've got a pretty good beta and it doesn't feel like it's all coming together at the last second, then that's the time to not July, in September, that's the time to start going back and looking for things to polish up and refine. Okay, so there should be, when she comes back, finish teleport. No, not here. Not on update. It's on do. Let's see. Okay, state reborn. So I don't know why this didn't set her face. That really should have. Oh, but maybe some stuff's still going on that is setting the motion differently. The knife controllers. That might be it. Okay, so what is the code that's causing all those knives to stab her? Final stabbing. Final stabbing. Okay, I think part of this is, even though I've left the state where I said go ahead and keep stabbing her, stab, 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 there's probably one last animation still in progress that is setting her eyes shut. So maybe I just need a way to just kind of clear any stabbing motions. So let's see. Stop, knife, stabbing. Why not just stop all knives? No, just let me. There. Okay. Now I'm gonna write a quick thing that just stops it. Knife controller. Bam. Say stop. Oh, what am I doing? Just let's go look at stab. Okay, update. Okay, I'm gonna say stopped. That's better for performance anyways. Okay, so do that. Stop all knives. So for M, reborn. Okay, just reborn. Stop all knives. I'd like to have these in calling order so that whenever I'm looking for a function, I know I go up if that's the right direction to find it. Okay. Okay, so that should fix that. There's a really easy way to fix this issue with seeing the player guide up above the camera. All I gotta do is just make the death box go a little bit lower and that won't be visible. it go down. -10. -1. Okay. Then let's get the lighting, death box light. Make it go down 10. Then let's get the waypoint, death box entry, go down 10. There we go. Everything moved down 10. So when she gets put down here, it seems pretty unlikely that it's going to show that predictive square up above still on the spikes. Okay. What else was bothering me? Okay, this is fine. So just this last one, I think about that. Okay, so at this point, all of the effects that would have updated her animations would have completed. The animator comes back. I run the call to make her go to her stand animation. It's probably another case of the animation controller acting in a weird way. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems to ignore my request to trigger the stand animation. It happens to me all the time that the animation controller ignores my requests. So I don't know of a good reason for it failing. This kind of looks like the flaky nonsense I've seen. Yeah. I did make a hack in the egg that it's like, no, really, play the animation that I asked for. Really, I really mean it. So I'm going to take a look at that hack and see if it's worth generalizing. Let's see. What's this one? Egg. Okay, egg util. Egg portal util. Okay. Hack. Where's it at? Yeah, I wrote like some big long explanation around it, so I'm looking like a block for a block of text. Where is this crappy code? It's probably an animator util. Okay. There it is. Alright, it's like I'm almost so done with all the animation stuff. It's not gonna be worth it. I really doubt it. Okay. So let's call this public static void reset animation. there is an argument to maybe customize the animations to specific characters or creature types. But so far it's been pretty good. Let me try this. So, let me ask you this about Animancer. Is it just a way of authoring different animations, or does it replace the animation controller? Because I think I have serious doubts about the animation controller that Unity... Okay, that might be worth something. I've at least figured out that it's either they've underdocumented the animation controller and what you need to do to use it correctly, or it's bug ridden. It's some combination of those two things. Because a lot of times, I'm just willing to say I'm ignorant of this thing, and I need to learn more about it, and then it'll work. But I did learn more about it, and I did do things in a way that made sense. You say, my animator play for the transition time, and does it handle blends between two different animations? But that's cool. That was maybe like the one part that I was thinking like, if I just play an animation, I don't know if I want to write animation blend code. That might be a little time consuming. So yeah, I might look into it a little bit later. So I definitely have my complaints at the built-in Unity animation controller. Okay, so I potentially fixed 3 bugs. Let me get them in my head so I can just go and check them all. Okay, the first thing I'll be checking is the predictive guide still visible over M. Next thing will be, I'll do them in the right order. Will she be standing when she arrives in the death box? Last one, our eye is going to be shot when she comes back. Did I write the code to stop all knives? I did. Okay. Let's try it out. Let's see if I fix 3 bugs. There's some kind of exception there. So I introduced a new bug. What did I do? What did I do? Is it that call to reset that I just added? I'll find out in a second. Should turn off this maximize on play. Something about that new animator thing. Okay, let's go to the top. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That might even be the cause of the initial bug. Yeah, that's the cause. Okay, because what I probably did is I tried to get the animator object from the top level player object, and it should instead be the offset object. That's probably it. Let me check that. Yeah, that would be it. Okay. Did I already get the offset transform? Okay, I did. Okay. Find offset. Okay. Down here. Yeah, that makes sense. Because inside of stand, I've got a null check that would have prevented it from failing. So this probably just never got called on the right. This would have passed in null. Some guard code in here would have returned without doing anything. So that's probably the issue. So if that's true, I will owe Unity an apology. But they already owe me multiple apologies, so I think it cancels out. I just want to have like a meeting with all the people at Unity that have wronged me and all the people at Unity that I've wronged by my glib assertions about their bad software quality, and we'll just apologize to each other. We'll just all make apologies, and mine will be over real fast. I'll be like maybe about 7 apologies, and they'll have about 700 apologies for me. Okay, she's standing, which is good, but on the bad side, I'm so sick of listening to myself sing that. The predictive is still there, and that surprises me. I might have to be a little more direct about hiding it, which I don't like. It's more hackery. All this stuff about subverting like the regular transitions between death has been such a pain in the ass. Okay. Okay, so one bug fixed. Another one remaining. And then I'll see if the third bug is fixed. When I come out of the death box, if her eyes are going to be shut, or if that extra code that stops all the knives from doing anything is going to prevent her eyes from going shut again. Because I think they're just getting one last stab in. Okay. There we go. 2 for 3. Not bad. All right. You know, I'm gonna hack the the guide and just turn it off. Think what's the best way to do that, because I could make it a little bit nice. Man, the way to do it, I guess, just get the guide, turn it off, visually that might not be bad, just for this one weird place in the game to turn off the walking squares. I turned off the predictions already, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So let me think. Player guide. Just make a static utility method here for enabling, disabling it. Let's see, let's pass in the transform. And then, let's see, another one. Okay. Maybe let's just do this. So we want to get the guide transform, and that will be okay. Guide transform and game object enabled, set active is enabled. Okay. Then back at Treachery Bridge. Let's so much hackery. is hide that. When she's reborn, I want it to come back. I think I've got player piece get transform enough places. I'll just set it one time. So pretty quick, I gotta go. Not that one. Run a little errand. Take my son-in-law back home. So if this fixes the last bug, I think I'll call that a session. And I'll end up doing some more work on this level. It would be like writing story stuff, and I'm going to do that all off stream. But I'm hoping this fixes that last bug. We'll see how it does. I think I spent maybe about, let's see, what's the time on this session? 3 hours. I'm going to say the whole thing about hacking the death transition, I spent like maybe 6 to 8 hours on it. Fixing all the bugs and everything. Okay, that's good. It hid the transition. Oh no, what the fuck was that? What was that? I pressed the button. M did not move while I pressed it. Oh, I don't like that. God damn it. So there's one step where she didn't move. I don't even want to see the rest of this. Let's just try that again. So the lesson for me is certain hacks, they're not really fast. Like, it's debatable whether I should have done that hack in the first place. If I was doing it again, I would probably figure out a cleaner way to do it. And maybe spend an equal amount of time, but end up with something that's less brittle, less coupled. It might be reusable for something else later. I think this will work, but it wasn't a fine piece of coding or anything. Okay, let me look at this one more time. Okay. She's back. Last time I pushed north. There it worked. West. Was that a frame drop? What was going on there? Because there I did not get a reproduction. I don't know. I think I will have to keep on looking for a reoccurrence of that particular problem that I just noticed. The problem is, I want some of the things that happens when she dies to occur that would be a normal part of death, and other parts I don't. So some of the code should run, and some of the code should be overridden. And at this point, it's like I'm done. I fixed the bugs. There might be like one extra one. I'm not sure if that was like some kind of frame drop type thing that convinced me that it did something, but so it's sort of like hindsight, but it doesn't help me now. I could have. Now there's no point in going back and redoing it. But if I started over, I would have done it a different way. So one of the ideas I had was like what you just said. And it might have been better. Which is, I would just put like some platform like right above the spikes that would be invisible, but she would land on it, and then I would teleport her, and then just play some kind of animation there of the bloodbath. That would have been less work. Definitely would have been less work. Like I said, if I was doing it over. But now I've like spent my 6 to 8 hours, and it's working. Don't see any issues. Other than maybe one. Yeah. So sometimes you go down the wrong path, and that's just how it goes. Anyways, this is a good stopping point for me. I go take my son-in-law back home. Well, thank you, sir. Catch you later. Rod's phone if you're still on. I'll catch you later. Thanks for joining. All right, stopping the stream. Stopping the stream now.